Hi, it's Wayne O'Keefe and I'm fishing the Maribyrnong River this morning. It's absolutely beautiful. It's overcast. There's no breeze at all. I'd like a bit more breeze for the fishing, but I'll have to go with what I've got here. It's right at the top of the tide at the moment, so there's actually no movement on the water. It's quite still. It's like a lake. This is not all that good for fishing, but what it is good for is getting your berley in place so you can actually draw those fish in. And what I'll do from here on is I'll get some of my berley out. I've got my bite hard berley with me. Where is it? It's here. Yep. So just using berley cages, the standard rig, a running line with a berley cage on it, and starting off with relatively small hooks. I'll cast out to my my spots just to try and get those fish coming around, and then hopefully work on that and bring more and more fish in. Beautiful morning though, and I'm really looking forward to this. Haven't been out fishing for about, I don't know, 3 weeks or so, so I'm suffering from withdrawal at the moment. Anyway, I'll get into this. We'll see if we can't catch some fish today. Well, this is one of those times when the fish are hitting straight away, so you're getting plenty of bites, but they're really hard to hit. So what you have to do is you have to work on the type of bait you're using, the size of the hook and things like that to find out how to actually get those fish in. Now, I hooked one, got it part of the way in, but lost it. Would have been a small bream, and I'm probably thinking about the size of my hand. But what they are doing is picking violently at that bait and getting it off. So there's a few fish about, it's just working out how to catch them. So I particularly like days like this where I know there's fish about, it's just really the science of how to hook them. So I'll sort of try and work out a process of how to do that. Even if I only catch 1 or 2 fish today, knowing there's fish about, I'll be happy with that as long as I can work out how to get them in. And even if they're small, I don't mind. It's just the science of doing that, and that's where the fun in fishing comes in many ways. Trying to outsmart the fish, and it seems they're pretty smart. Well, I hooked into this one here, pretty much hit it on the drop because I've been putting plenty of berley in. It's only a small fish, but at least I'll be able to find out what is out there and taking my bait all the time. Okay. Ooh. So the mullet are around, okay, and this is what's been taking my bait. And as I've said before, mullet can be incredibly hard to catch because they pick and drop at that bait all the time. So at least I know what's in there, and I might take my hook size down a bit to see if I can get more like this because they've been able to pull the bait off the bigger hooks. Now, I missed a really good bite then, and what I have to do now is I have to hold the rod so I can actually feel the bites. That's where a graphite rod really comes in handy, something that's quite stiff, and you feel all of the bites and the tension of the fish against your hand as you're holding the rod. So, and you don't want to move the rod around too much when you're holding it. You just let it lie in your hand, hold it still, and let the fish be the ones that are pulling, and when you feel that pull, you strike. What I'm using today is a standard running rig. Just basically a berley cage, which is carrying my berley out there to a line stop, and then I've got a bit of length of line here, and that's the chewed up piece of bait that I just lost to that fish with a size 10 hook. So I've gone down in size to something smaller because that's what the mullet can get in their mouth, and that's working. So I've just missed that one. Good strike. That might have been potentially a bream, but I think there's some reasonable size mullet in here as well. I'm going to sort of now try this and see if I can, holding my rod, see if I can actually get those fish in. If you really get your berley going, what can happen is if the fish are feeding, almost immediately after you cast in, they'll be waiting in the area. If you're accurate with your casting, those fish will be waiting for you. And what's happened with this rod here, I've been working on this rod. This rod here has been the one that I've been casting in most of the time. So it's most productive, and there's little bites on it. Almost, I'll just tighten up a bit. There's little bites happening quite a bit now on this because I've got those fish in the area. Now, these are little bites, so they're smaller fish, size of that mullet I had before, but what it means is that hopefully it'll bring in the attention. Missed that one, but it'll get the attention of those bigger fish. So that's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, I'll keep moving on this, because pretty much, you know, a minute after I cast in, I'm getting activity, but it's only because I'm using a berley cage. I've got the berley coming into the area, so there's an attractant there all the time. People ask me, how does berley stay in an open-ended berley cage? Something like this. It's just a little tube, but if you make the berley right, it actually stays in there. That'll hit the water. Half of this will come out into the water column as it's falling to the bottom, and then the other half will be in. Okay, I've got something. This is the bigger rod that I had. I haven't been getting much action on this, and I just changed the bait. It's a good bream. Okay, let's see if I can get it up. Okay, right, yeah. Okay, there you go. I just changed the bait, but I hadn't been putting much action into that one, and then I got this bream. So, and almost lost my rod. So I should be paying more attention. Anyway, I'm going to put this one back. Well, I just hooked into another one. Probably another, by the feel of it, probably something small like a mullet. Oh no, as I see it, it's a small bream. Oh, oops. And I just lost it. Yeah. The good thing is that the fish are coming so quickly. Now I'm getting a bite, you know, within the minute or so. I'm not necessarily hooking them, but if you use your berley properly, I tell you what, you get the activity happening. Now I've got Dwayne here, who has been lure fishing this morning. So Dwayne, you were saying, especially when it was overcast this morning, the fish were pretty good?
Yeah, there was quite a lot of activity up around the edges on the rocks as the tide was coming in. High tide was about 8:20 past 8 this morning, so got here about an hour before that, and as the tide came in, the fish came in with the tide picking away, and I saw a couple of nice fish.
Okay, and we're talking about bream here?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. In between toadfish, bream and toadfish, but I
yeah, I've seen a few myself.
Yeah.
And just show us what's your setup here, Dwayne?
Oh, basically just 1 to 4 kilo, I think this is. Spin stick 7 foot with a 2500 reel. At the moment, got a rig with a soft plastic.
Yep.
It's a quite heavy jig head for what I usually fish with bream. It's 1/16.
Right. Okay.
But now the sun's up, I was trying to get a little bit further.
Yeah.
With this morning, that would have been down to about 1/20th, 1/12th.
Okay, and so the thing is, so you would have had smaller lure this morning, but you're casting out now. As the sun comes down, the fish are moving out into the deeper water.
As the sun comes up, I believe the fish go out to a bit deeper water, a bit more cover.
I'm with you on that.
And so I need to get out a little bit further.
Yeah, okay. And so you just walk the banks?
Yep, I just walk the banks, have a look around, spot where there might be a little bit of activity, a little bit of structure, and cast in that area for a little while and then move on to the next.
Right. And have you lost many lures?
You can lose a few lures. The soft plastics I don't mind because they're not as expensive, but things like cranky crabs and stuff like that, around $20 each, it's a little bit scary. But they do get the results. That's what I got the result on this morning, was the cranky crabs, so it did work.
Okay, so it's a hard plastic, is it? Or
if you should have a look at them. They're probably the most realistic crab you'll get. They're a hard body lure with floating trebles. So the trebles float up the claws, but the claws are made a little bit of foam.
Yep.
And they are deadly on bream.
Right.
Absolutely deadly. But they are a bit expensive, and you've got to be prepared to maybe lose one or two. So you might want to go a bit heavy on your leader, maybe 6 pound minimum, 8 pounds probably a bit safer.
Okay.
But they're pretty snag resistant, but there's a lot of jams. I mean, yeah.
And I noticed that's not braid. Are you using?
No, it is braid. It's a fluorocarbon leader.
Right. Oh, okay.
So I use about 2 rod lengths of fluorocarbon leader onto about 6 pound braid. Yeah.
And that braid really gives you that feel.
Oh, it's great for lure fishing.
Stretch.
Yeah, 100%. You just get to feel every tap in the line. So you're almost watching your line and feeling for the bite more than seeing it.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. Well, look, that's been great. Look, I wish you all the best of
You
luck.
too, mate. Good luck.
Okay,
Good luck,
and
Wayne.
hopefully you'll land a couple.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. See you
Take
later,
care.
Dwayne.
Cheers. Bye.
Now, as I just tighten up there, yeah, you can see I'm getting bites on the tip there. Yeah, but they're not big, so the fish are just picking and dropping, which is really makes it hard to. And I've missed that again. Oh, I've missed so many, and I'm probably not letting them get enough of a bite, not get it confidently enough. Okay, cast into my spot. And now I'm getting bites straight away. That's amazing. Well, it shouldn't be amazing actually. The berley is doing its job, but they're little tiny bites though, so they're very hard to hit. I've got to wait for that rod tip to really move around like that to be able to get into these fish. Okay, I bet you this is a little bream. Wait, just shows you how good at picking out fish I am. It's a mullet in the shallows. Where is he? Okay, there he goes. Okay, a little mullet now, and I think he's going to go into, oh no, I thought he was going to go into the snags, but he hasn't. He's coming up. There's a big snag in there, and it's another bream. Okay, there we go. Come on, buddy. Okay, there we go. Okay. Well, the water is really moving now. What has happened is that the tide is going out, and so the force of the water going out and the flow of the river moving towards the ocean as well creates quite a bit of speed. So what I've had to do is I'm changing from my lighter berley cage and I'm going up to a heavier berley cage. And the great thing about having the running line with a line clip on it down to a line stop is that all I have to do is open my clip off, take the old berley cage off, clip this one on. If I have my glasses, this would be easier. Clip that on, and I'm ready to go with the newer, heavier weight, which is what I need. Okay, I'm into this one now, and there's a bit of a snag down there. I'm hoping it doesn't go into that. It'll be a bream, I think, because it's fighting quite well. It won't be a big one, but it's getting into the snag. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so that's what happens when you get the fish coming around because of your berley and stuff. Another little bream. So that's worked well. Okay, hopefully you get a few more of these today. But it's been a really good session so far, and it's beautiful weather. Occasionally, fish will swallow the hook fully, just like that one did. So I just cut the line rather than try and get it out pliers or anything like that and damage the fish. I wanted to get it back into the water as soon as possible, so I just cut the line and put it in there. Those hooks, they're quite a fine gauge hook. They will rust out, especially in this sort of brackish water, salty water. They'll rust out very, very quickly, and that fish will be fine. So look after your fish, and try not to keep them out of the water too long. Try to wet your hands when you actually handle the fish. Don't handle it for too long. Don't handle it with a rag. I see people handling it with rag. Rag takes a lot of the protective slime off the fish, which then opens it up to bacterial infections. So look after your fish, and they'll be there for next time you want to go fishing. And over the years they get very, very big, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, just straight away, I might have attracted a school of them now. Just another bream that I've caught shortly after that last one. And looks, roughly the same size as well. So now all the factors are working well to bring those fish in. So this could be a real hell of a session. Another one, and I think it's into the same snag. Same snag, no fish. I've just hooked into one, but it's taken me straight into the snag. Well, a little brim, and pulled me into the snags, but luckily it was the weight that got snagged and not the hook. So there you go. This one can go back, but still catching them. They're still coming in. Well, I can't believe my luck. I've just got a telephone call. I have to leave now, right when things were really hotting up. So look, that's just the way things are. But look, if you like the techniques today, the berley cages, the gear that I'm using, or even how to learn how to fish like this, go to my website, howtofish.com.au.